Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome
Welcome.
to Tea Time,
Tea Time, episode 3.
episode 3 with Juan Michael.
And Ish.
Cheers.
What kind of tea are we drinking today, Ish?
So for you, you're drinking San Francisco green tea from Chinatown with some lemon and some Georgia honey.
Oh.
For me, I am drinking chamomile tea, tea bag, and some Georgia honey.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And what are we here to discuss today?
So today we're still on the same topic of the importance of talking to family and friends and loved ones and people you trust while you go through your own healing journey. And we've talked so far about a lot of things. But kind of today's focus, what I would really like is the direction I would like to go is how do you know who to talk to?
Okay.
How do you know about one? Like how did you discern that information of who you needed to talk to when and all that stuff while you were going through your healing journey? And how did you know who not to talk to, right?
That's a good discussion post, or there's something to talk about, right? And it's sometimes you don't know who to talk to. You just need to talk to somebody, right? But then it gets to a point where, like, maybe if you've been going through it for a while, like if you're going through depression or anxiety, where talking to others, it starts to become detrimental to them, in the sense of like you start giving them anxiety and depression as well. So you start bringing them down with you. So my recommendation for that is like go and hire a professional, like hire somebody, a therapist, to go talk to on a weekly basis that you can be really honest with, and just like let them know what you got going on. Because again, like you can talk to your friends and family, and you can talk to God, and all that stuff is great. But there's a certain point where like they can't, like you're just putting a burden, not necessarily on God, but on friends and family. You're putting a burden on them, right? So then that's when you want to go to a specialist, and then like that's where you can unload, like, hey, this is what's going on with me. But of course, still talk to friends and family. But that's just if it gets to that point. Now, who to talk to? Sometimes you could choose. Like, here's a big thing. Just whoever you feel like you need to talk to, just talk to that person and ask them questions. Tell them how you're feeling, and like see what they come up with. But here's the thing though, they may not say what you want to hear. So what do I mean by this? So they may call you out on your bullshit. Like, for real.
It's important though.
It's important to get called out on your bullshit. It's real. It's like so real. And the reason, and like for example, whenever I was going through my depression, through my anxiety, when I was throwing up blood, when I was throwing up every day, and I was depressed, and I went up to you. Like, I didn't know what depression was at that point. I'd never been depressed in my life. And so I go up to you, Ish, and I'm like, hey, Ish, I think I'm depressed. And I'm like, oh, just like, I think I'm depressed. And you came at me with, do you remember what you told me?
I have no memory or recollection. Please tell me.
You said, you better fix that because I can't be with somebody that's depressed. You got 6 months to figure it out.
Oh, really?
Something along those lines. Or, you have a year to figure it out. And you're like, I can't be with anybody that's depressed. And at that point, I was like shocked. I was like, oh my God, like what the heck? Like, I came and confided in you. And instead of you being like, oh, it's okay, Juan, it's okay, like everything's gonna be fine, don't worry. No, you're like, if you don't fix this, I can't be with you. And I was like, why? And then you told me like your ex had been like depressed or something. I told you that he was depressed, and then that he had like run off a few like months after that. And so like it triggered things in you So you're like, I can't be with somebody that's depressed because you were scared that I was gonna hurt you and like leave you at that time. Now, that's not what I wanted to hear. I didn't want to hear that. Like, hey, you got 1 year to figure this out. What I wanted to hear was, it's okay, Juan. Everything's gonna be all right. Like, we're gonna figure it out. Don't worry. But no, you said, nope, I can't be with somebody that's depressed. You can't be depressed. Sorry. So that forced me to like reevaluate myself, and it felt very bad at the time. Like, it felt terrible. Like when you told me that, I was like,
Oh, man.
it felt terrible at that time. But now, let me fix this. But now, looking back at it, you weren't the person I wanted you to be. You're the person that I needed you to be. So whenever you said no, putting your foot down and said, you got to figure it out. Well, that snapped me out of it of, I mean, I was still depressed, don't get me wrong, but that snapped me out of it of, this is going to be forever. It's like, no, I got a deadline and I need to figure this out. If not, like, we're just not going to have a relationship anymore, and that's going to suck. Um, so I say that, all that to say this. Like, you don't, when you go and talk to people, your friends and family, like sometimes they're gonna call you out on your shit. Like they're gonna call you out and say like, "Hey, that's not right." They're gonna call you out on your stuff, saying like, "Hey, you know what? Like, of course you're depressed. Like you haven't moved. Like, go do something. Go outside. Go get some sun." Right? Like they'll tell you stuff that you don't want to hear. You just want to like, you want them to just like hold you and like be there for you. Like, dude, you haven't worked out in a long time. Go work out. Go do something. Right? In the Hispanic culture, they tell you, "Ponte a limpiar. Get to cleaning." Like you're depressed because you're not doing anything. Get to
Yeah.
work. And so it, again, like you go to your friends and family to talk to them, but also understand that they may not say what you want them to hear. Do you have any experience like this, or what do you think about what I just said?
Well, I mean, I do have experience in that, right? Like, we both, in our relationship so far, like, when we saw that the other person was not, I guess, living up to who they could be, who they are seen like as, um we've we've given each other ultimatums. Um and the ultimatum is like, hey, like, you have this amount of time. When we both are in understanding, like, things change, things and things to change takes time. Like, it's not something like, oh, next week it's gonna be different, next month it's gonna be different. No, it takes about like three to 6 months for a true real change to actually take place, and that's what we gave each other. We gave each other 6 months to a year for like change to happen, and that was the fuel to the fire for both of us, because we are choosing each other for a reason. And we are helping the other um be better ultimately. And that's how I now see a relationship as. I don't really know what I used to see a relationship as before, but similar, like, you gave me an ultimatum and you were like, hey, like, you need to change, like, you need to get your act together. You have 6 months to a year. If we don't see any true change or anything gets better, like, we don't need to be around each other, we don't need to be together. I hear it all the time though from like my parents and loved ones, people. I I ask for their guidance and for their wisdom, and saying like it's not always what I wanted to hear, but it's definitely something that it's a different perspective that I take into account. Um because it's just as valid as any other perspective out there. Now it's which one do you want to run with for the most part.
Yeah. So you ask different people, you get different takes, and then sometimes they're not gonna tell you what you want to hear, but then you gotta go back and reflect and think about it, right? Because a lot of the times, what I've realized in life is I think I'm right on a lot of things,
Mhm.
And then when I go and ask somebody like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" They're like, "No, this other thing. Like, you should do this other thing." And I'm like, that's interesting. My previous me, old me, would have been like, "This person's stupid. They don't know what the hell they're talking about." But
Mhm.
new me is like, "Hey, listen, hold on. Let's wait a second. Let's like it may not make sense to me right now, but I'm gonna ponder on it. I'm gonna think about this and see like their perspective. Where are they coming from? Why are they telling me this?" And then a lot of the times, like sometimes I'll just implement it just to implement it. Like, hey, let's see if it works. Like, let's see if it works. It's a lot of times it does. It works. Sometimes it doesn't, and then I just change and rearrange, and that's fine, right? But at least I tried what they suggested, and if get like I say about 75 to 80% of the time, it works out.
Mhm.
Like the suggestion, I'm like what something that I wouldn't have thought of, a decision I would have made by myself, um, wasn't what they had said, and when I do it, it ends up working out. So that's interesting. That's interesting to think about. But also think about like parents and family members, and when they come to you and they tell you stuff, you also got to be discerning on like who is this person, right? Like if you got money problems and your uncle that also has money problems is trying to give you advice, like you're going to the wrong person, right?
Exactly.
If you're depressed and you're going to another depressed person to ask them how to get out of depression, well, like you're talking to the wrong person. Now, if you go to a depressed person that was previously depressed and has made their way out of it, now, bingo, bingo was his name on. If you have a lot of anxiety and you know somebody, maybe in your family, because a lot of times this stuff like runs in the family. Maybe somebody else in your family like suffered from anxiety, or maybe you don't know that they suffered from anxiety, but they were able to overcome it. So when you go and talk to somebody like, "Hey, man, I'm like really suffering from anxiety," maybe go to a tío or a tia, an aunt or an uncle, and you tell them like, "Hey, I'm really going through this," and they'll be like, "Oh, that happened to me when I was your age,
Mm.
and this is what I did, and like this is how
Excuse
I
me.
got out of it." Right? And then also just being compassionate and gracious to yourself along the way. You don't want to be so like, "Oh, everybody's telling me to like." Don't play the victim card. Is what I'm trying to say. Don't
And
play.
this goes back to yesterday's video, which will be put on YouTube soon. We're still editing.
Yes.
But yeah, don't play the victim.
Don't play the victim. Don't feel like the whole world's out to get you because everybody's like, "Hey, stop being depressed." Like, no, they're trying to help you out, and the help may not come how you want it to come, but it may come how you need it to come, and
Hmm.
that's a big difference.
Yeah. Um. So I want to talk about. You talked about seeking professional help, and I can attest to this, and I agree to this. Where talking to family and friends and loved ones can only get you so far in your journey. I believe for me, it got me maybe to like 70, 75% of the way. And there was a point in time where it's like I got all the information from the people that I trusted the most. Like I got that information already, but I needed like just a little bit more. And so I didn't know who else really to turn to. Like he wasn't gonna help me. This is a point where like he was in his own healing journey, I was in my own healing journey, and like we were helping our own individual selves out for like the better of our relationship together. And so like I wasn't gonna go to him because right then that's like me dragging him down with me or trying to get him to feel what I'm feeling and like console me and um like that's not Juan Michael's duty.
Not my job,
It's not his job, it's my job. It's my job to figure all this stuff out for myself. How to regulate myself, how to control myself. And so
and vice versa.
I sought therapy, and I've never gone to therapy before. The only one other time that I went to therapy was a group therapy because my parents were going through a separation, and so my parents were so concerned about me and my brother that they were like, "Please go to therapy. Like, I know you're hurting from this." I'm like, "Okay, probably more you than me, but whatever." So I sought therapy, and I was in school at that time, and I actually sought out therapy through insurance. And I did it once and never did it again because the therapist was only going to help me one time for 45, either 30 to 45 minutes, like once every other week, if even that. It would be like once a month. And I'm like, how are you going to help me 1 hour, one less than 1 hour a week in a whole month? Like, that's not helpful at all. If you do the math, like less than an hour a week, that's like for a whole month. How many hours? Like 24 times 7 times 31. Like you're helping me like 0.1% of the time, 0.5% of the time. Like you're not helping me. So I sought out therapy outside of like from what my insurance like recommended for me. I went through Better Me,
Better help.
BetterHelp. I went through BetterHelp, and that was so helpful. I got therapy once a week. And on top of that, like with BetterHelp, there's also like group therapy sessions that are like an add-on. Like you can go and attend them. They're free at no extra charge. I always was able to chat freely with my therapist, and she was so helpful. She provided me so many tools and skills and different perspectives. Um, and then, but the thing that I think about therapy is that therapy should help you like for an x amount of time. Like it's a limited amount of time. I don't believe you should have to go to therapy forever for the rest of your life. Because therapy's goal is, how I see it, is to help you and not manage like where you're at. It's to actually help improve your life so that now you can live like your own better quality lifestyle. Um so that's my take on therapy and my spiel.
And I agree. I agree with that. You got to be careful with the therapist that you get. Like, and at first it'll be very difficult to distinguish them, and especially if like you've never been to therapy before, like it's very hard to distinguish them. But if your therapist is not calling you out on your stuff, on the things that you need to be doing, if they're not giving you tools to heal your nervous system, then they're just listening to you talk. And like I've been in sessions where like somebody will be like, the therapist is acting like a friend instead of giving them advice on like, hey, instead of like playing the victim, like how about you see it like this instead, like giving them different perspectives. Instead of doing that, instead of giving them like tools for their emotions to be able to handle the stressors in their life, they were just like, all right, I'm gonna be your chatting buddy. Like, come on. Oh, somebody did you wrong. How dare they? How dare they do you wrong? Like, who are they to treat you like this? Like, they should know how to treat you automatically without you even telling them. Like, they should know the boundaries without you even talking, right? So that therapist is not helping you at all. They're just your they're
Enabling.
enabling your victim mentality, enabling you being a victim of your own life. Instead of empowering you, you want your therapist to empower you to become the best version of yourself so that you don't need to go to therapy anymore. um, and like, it can just be seasonal, right? Like, hey,
Seasonal.
something happened in my life, a family member passed away, I'm really going through it. Like, let me go to therapy, let me go talk to somebody about it, right? Hey, I'm going through depression, or somebody's going through depression right now, like they should go seek a therapist until their depression is gone, or like somebody that helps them through that whole process. And if they don't if they don't help them through that process, then they need to go find somebody else that will help them through that process to help heal that nervous system. Because if you don't heal your nervous system, stressors are still going to be stressors in your life, right? So you want to improve, strengthen your nervous system so that the stressors of your everyday life don't affect you and don't debilitate you to a point where you can't live anymore.
Right, to the point where you feel so inclined to have to isolate yourself, to not um not seek help from anyone, to just be a hermit and a couch potato.
And as much as like everybody likes to say, like, or not everybody, but some people, especially introverts, are like, I don't like people, right? Some people say that, like, I don't like people. Oh, yeah, you do. Like, maybe you don't like being around them all the time, but you need them and they need you.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you think about it, our daily lives, there's millions of people that make our lives work, that help support us. That even if you're a hermit in your house and you don't ever leave, you still have a team of millions of people helping you out every single day.
And how is that? Like, how? What do you mean?
Yes, all right, that's a great question. So think about the farmers that grow your food. You got tomatoes, vegetables, cucumbers, celery, all the different foods, cows. So cows, chickens, like these are multitudes, like a whole army of people just to supply you with food, with all the varieties that you want. When you go to the grocery store, every product is probably at least 100 people behind that product, maybe more, right? Depending on the product, depending on the size, depending on the organization, it may be a lot more, right? All right, you have a whole team of doctors. You got your primary care doctor, you got your specialist, you got your dentist, you have your therapist, you have all these other people. Now, you may not see all of those, but at least you may be seeing your primary care doctor and your dentist. So they're helping you out. And now who helps out the dentist, the dental assistant? Who helps out the doctor, the doctor's assistant, the people in the office, the nurses in the office, right? And who helps them, right? So the farmers that help you, there's people helping them. So it's a whole collaboration of people helping people. And if there weren't any people, if there was nobody on this planet
And it was just you.
and it was just you, it'd be so boring.
It'd be quite challenging because you'd have to, and we learned this from a book recently. It would be quite challenging. Like, you would have to grab your own gas, like extract your own gas,
Get your own
put it
electricity.
in, right? Filter your own water, plumb, like do all that work, like do everything all by yourself.
It's like, and if you don't know how to do all that stuff, you're gonna be stuck. So like, let's say everybody just like vanished from the planet right now,
Except
and
you.
except for you, right? Except for you, you'd get so bored. I mean, you have all the riches on the planet, literally
Yeah.
all the riches on the planet. You go to multimillionaires' houses. Well, it's not their house anymore; it's your house because you're the only one that is alive. But who's gonna turn on the lights? Well, you gotta go out to the power place. You gotta figure out how to turn on the power. You gotta keep it on, and then you gotta go out to the water place,
For
to the
me,
water
I would
district,
want to go. I
and
would
figure
want to
that
go to
out.
Disneyland, but I would need to know how to start the ride.
They'd all be off. They'd all be off. Oh, and then you need somebody to stop the ride, or else you're just running in a loop. Imagine being on Magic Mountain just on a loop. Oh, you.
No, that's scary. So yeah, so this is our tea time for the day. Really being able to discern, and discernment is like,
Being able to tell what's good and what's bad, what advice is good, what advice is not going to work out for you. And sometimes you just got to take the advice and then see what it works out, how it affects you and your life, and then go from there. If it helps you, great. If it doesn't, all right, we got to go seek help from somebody else. And sometimes people aren't going to tell you what you want to hear, they're going to tell you what you need to hear, and that's two different things.
yep, yep. Because honestly, okay, so for example, going back to what you talked about me telling you, nope, like you figure it out, like that's on you.
I can't be with somebody that's depressed.
So what? Now let's just play this imagination game. And you came up to me back then, but I responded the opposite way. I responded how you wanted me to respond to you.
I
How
probably
do you think that would change or
so
be
I think
different?
it probably would have put me in a place of comfort of like everything's all right, even if I'm like depressed, I could still be around. And then it would have put me in a place of no urgency, so I didn't have an urgency to heal myself. And then like getting on disability, like oh, I'm on disability, I'm getting checks from the government. Like what's the like? Why should I better myself? Why should I heal myself?
Mm.
So it may have put me in a spiral of just being on disability and just getting sicker and sicker, or eventually just like either taking my own life or just dying based off of the diseases that ended up inhabiting my body. So Thank you for saving my life.
Thank you for saving my life. Te amo. And then we're done for the day, but you can catch us for the most part right now on a daily basis. Just talking about informative tea time discussions.
We're discussing the what do we have?
If you want, please follow.
67 different healing modalities that we've learned through our healing journey.
And please follow along with the first video that we put on YouTube. And it kind of just goes into, why we decided to do this. It's how we decided to go about everything. All of these tools, these modalities, these techniques, how we implemented it throughout our healing journey, which for Juan started in 2021. For myself, started like 2021, more so 2022.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But if you're ready to make a change in your life, if you're ready to do whatever it takes to better yourself, and you need some help, you need some accountability partners, you need somebody to, hey, I don't know how to heal myself. I don't know all these modalities. I need some help. I need some direction. Reach out to us. Schedule a free consultation at the Desert Consulting. You can either book with EESH or you can book with Juan Michael, and decide, one free consultation session. And then after that, we can go into coaching, consulting, or whatever it is that you need for your life to help improve you and become the best main character that you can be. Now, we also, or at least we also have the Main Character University podcast. Mm-hmm. So we believe that everybody is the main character of their own story. So we listen to people's stories to encourage and inspire you to be the best main character that you can be.
Because every hero has a story to tell.
Because every hero has a story to tell. And we know you got one too. So thank you for joining. We appreciate you. You can find us at www.thedesertconsulting.com. You can find me at juan.csusb on Instagram. You can also find me on LinkedIn at Juan Michael Cibrian. That's S-I Brian, S-I-B-R-I-A-N. And then you can also, I think it's spelled up top too as well. Or maybe is it just Juan Michael on the? It's just Juan Michael. Okay, so yeah. You look up Juan Michael on LinkedIn. There's not that many out there, as far as I know. Very active on there. If you do add me, send me a note. Like, hey, this is why I'm adding you, so that I can add you. Because if I don't have any note, I'm not gonna add you because I'm very particular about my network. But yeah, we're more than happy to help you. And then you can follow EESH, the Desert Consulting on TikTok, on YouTube, Instagram,
Facebook, and then on LinkedIn, it's just my personal Ixchelbuelna, IXCHELBUELNA.
Yeah, thank you for joining.
Peace and blessings. Yes, and thank you. Have a beautiful rest of the week and continue to stay tuned.